Oh, this makes me nervous. I don't know why. Alrighty, so we're gonna try first with just the key and no starter fluid, nothing like that. Alright, y'all, we'll see what happens. Big moment. No way! No freaking way. Hey guys, really quickly before we get into the video, I want to let you guys know that the giveaway winner for the Carl's giveaway is Andrew S. Andrew, I'll be sending you an email, so check your email. Guys, if you want to do another giveaway, let me know in the comment section down below. Remember, if you want to save it, Carl's, hit that link in the description. Let's get back into the video. We are getting right into the motor today. A lot of you guys essentially recommended that I do a compression test, that I do a spark plug test, that I change the impeller. So we're gonna go ahead and do all that stuff here today. I actually already started last night. Last night I got in here, I started pulling the lower unit off, and let me tell you, it is stubborn. There's way more to getting the lower unit off to get that impeller out than honestly makes sense. So basically I got all the bolts off except for one being in a really tricky place that I can't seem to get off. So underneath all the carburetors, essentially, there's a bolt that is all the way up in there. We got to try and successfully get this bolt out of there and back in, which is going to be super, super, super hard. They never make it easy on you. Working on cars, working on motors, it's just always a poop shoot, it seems like. So I'll show you guys what I'm going to do to figure this out. So at Harbor Freight, I found this extension T-bar. I'm going to try and put a socket on here and get into this place, but I don't even know if it's going to work, man. Like, I was really hoping that was going to solve my issue, but I don't think it is. This is where doing this stuff gets kind of frustrating because there's 1,000 steps to do one simple thing. So basically, for me to get the lower unit off, I have to get the shift tab or the shift knob bolt removed, and it's just so buried in there that you can't get any tool in there. Even if I was able to get it out at this point, getting it back in would be disastrous. So when it comes to tackling something like this, you pretty much have no choice but to add more work for yourself. So I'm gonna have to take off all 6 carburetors. I kind of want to just try to start it, but like I don't want to put gas through it and everything if for some reason I gotta go into here anyway. So I think we're gonna backtrack before we start it, even though this is more work for ourselves. Honestly, you know what? We're not gonna take the carburetors off. We're not gonna take the lower unit out. Let's see if this thing starts. We're gonna pull the boat out, we're gonna hook it up to water, and we're gonna see if this thing fires up. Because if it does, then I have the green light to keep going further, and it'll motivate me to just get everything done, right? Like I'll pull the carburetors off, clean out the carburetors, pull the lower unit out. I'll put a new water pump in there, impeller. I have the parts to do it, but why would I spend all this time doing it first if for some reason I can't even get this engine to even want to start, if that makes sense? I know some of you guys will probably disagree with this, but if I can get the engine started a little bit, I can do the compression test, I can do the spark plug test, I can do those things to kind of tell me if this is even worth dismantling at this point. So, because if I can't get any compression and there's like no life left in this motor, why spend all this time and potential money buying tools and things like that to do this? So, whatever. We're gonna use some starter fluid. We're gonna mix up some 2-stroke. We're gonna hook this guy up to some muffs and let her eat. So if I had to guess, these spark plugs are probably shot. I'm gonna see if we can get a spark plug, which I'm sure we can. I'll probably run up to like O'Reilly or something and see if we can get 6 new spark plugs. I think we have a better bet just tossing a brand new spark plug in there and seeing what happens. I just don't think these are gonna fire. God knows how long these have been sitting in there, and these carburetors are probably so gummed up. I don't know, we'll see. I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where I put starter fluid in there and she wants to go, but as soon as it's out of starter fluid, it's like, all right, we're gonna pull all the spark plugs out just to see what we're working with, and I'm gonna go try and get 6 more. Old spark plug, gross, and new spark plug. We're gonna go ahead and kind of just throw these in here. I'm sure people are gonna be angry at me for not oiling them or lubing them, da 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 da. All right, spark plugs are in. I gotta get some of these bolts back in the lower unit because I probably shouldn't try to start this thing with half the lower unit unbolted. So I'm excited. Oh, this is something. Alrighty, so lower unit is secured and back in. I think one more thing we'll actually do before we take it out and get it started, or attempt to get it started, is change out that lower unit oil. I do have all the equipment I need to do that. This lower unit oil's probably been sitting in there for a fat minute. Yeah, so we're gonna change that out and then we'll get it outside to try and start it. Alright guys, well that's finishing dripping. This is probably really bad. You guys let me know. Again, I don't know this stuff all that well. So first off, oil's not awful. I mean, is it new? No, but it wasn't like straight milk or anything like that, meaning like it didn't seem like there's a ton of water in there, or if any at all. What I'm more concerned about is this right here. If you guys could see, these are the bolts that hold the oil in. I'm assuming they're magnetic, and it looks like there's what, metal shavings on there? Is that what that is? It looks like it caught a bunch of metal shavings. So again, I'm gonna try and show that as close as I can, but it's very hard to tell, but seems to me like shavings of metal. So I'm no expert, but does that mean that the lower gearbox is just shaving away, or what causes that? I gotta do my research, but I'd be curious to know what you guys know. If this motor's poop, like whatever, we'll get a new one. Not a big deal. I'm gonna have to probably find a sponsor to help pay for it because I can't afford one right now, but we'll figure it out. We'll find a way to buy one. But yeah, what does that mean? So the last thing we need to do before we get this thing fired up is eliminate that VRO system. For those of you who don't know, VRO was essentially Evinrude's or Johnson's oil to gas ratio mixing component. So you would have a primer for gas, primer for oil. Together they mix 50-1 and they go directly into the engine. Apparently these things fail a ton, and literally anybody who's owned one of these pretty much said to eliminate it. So I already got the 2-stroke tank out. I clipped that off a couple videos back because it was just annoying in itself. So we're gonna go ahead and just clip this off right here. This is the electronics that were going to the physical tank. They said there's a little orange wire that runs through this side of the engine that you just want to clip and get rid of. So I don't necessarily know 100% the right way to go about doing this, but what I think I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm just going to take it off. So hopefully I don't mess anything up here, but I'm just going with my gut on this one. Boom, VRO cable eliminated. Now we just gotta plug the hoses. Everybody just plugs them with bolts. I ordered rubber caps to like actually plug them the right way, but they haven't come in yet, so we're gonna run with bolts today. These hoses are fried. I'm gonna cut this as close as I can. So I think I did that right. I watched a bunch of different videos on that. I'm gonna assume that's fine. I overrode the electrical, I overrode the primer. I don't know, leave me comments down below. A lot of you guys are gonna be like, oh bro, you destroyed the engine, you didn't override the VRO perfectly. It is what it is, guys. I'm doing all that I can. I'm not an expert, but I research a little bit before bed every night and then I give it a whirl. But I'm going to mix the gas in an external gas tank, and I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do there because I'm not hooking up the big gas tank, and I'll show you guys kind of the setup that I put together for that. So first things first, we gotta get the boat out of the garage. Something about this just doesn't seem right. In a good way and a bad way. Like, part of me is like, this isn't gonna work at all. Part of me is like, this thing's gonna fire up in like 2 turns and I'm gonna be shocked. But I just don't see that happening. But we're gonna be optimistic. All right, so as you guys can see, we got water hooked up to it. What I got here is a 6-gallon tank of mixed gas that I already pre-mixed. I figured the easiest thing to do would be to hook it up to an external tank instead of a big gas tank, because that was a lot more work. Oh, this makes me nervous. I don't know why. Alrighty, so we're gonna try first with just the key and no starter fluid, nothing like that. All right, y'all, we'll see what happens. Big moment. All right, I think we're gonna try some starter fluid. All right, I'll be honest with you guys. What does that mean? Is that good? Bad? Is it locked up? Like, is it wanting to start and it's saying, oh, heck no? I'm going to keep trying it more because at this point I got nothing to lose. I don't know if this thing's alive or not, but it sounds to me like it wants to kick, but it also sounds like it's not getting sparked, so not really sure. In a minute I'll try and hook it up to the spark plug tester again, but I'm going to give it a couple more. Okay, so we got this spark plug attached to it. Make sure it's on there. It's gotta be on there. And now this guy's supposed to light it up when I start it. See, this thing's clearly not lighting up. So either A, I'm doing this completely wrong, or B, this thing isn't getting sparked to the spark plugs whatsoever. So let me know what you guys think about that, because either this thing's broken or I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. I followed the video and that's how you do it as far as I know. Maybe I need to get one that goes in the spark plug socket. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of weird. So it sounds like it almost kicks and it's not getting gas to me, but it also sounds like maybe it's not getting the spark it needs to kick over. I really don't know. I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. Let me know in the comment section. That's why I make these videos, because I don't know. I don't know engines enough. I'm learning. So the last thing I'm going to try before I put it back away is to just override this fuel hose. A lot of times if gas isn't cycling through here, or if this hose is clogged, I'm assuming it's not getting gas to the engine, because although there is liquid in there, I don't know when I'm pumping. Either enough gas isn't getting through this hose and through to the engine. I don't know. Maybe I need to bypass everything, but I also know that there's a chance that the carburetors are just so darn gunked up. It could be a lost cause anyways. Carburetors are the bread and butter, right? Like if your carburetor's gummed up, ain't nothing gonna start. We're gonna go ahead and try and bypass this. All right, well that worked. So as you guys can see here, I hooked my gas line directly up to this guy. So now when I pump it, we actually have liquid flowing through there. So long as it's making it down here into the engine, maybe we'll have better luck. I don't know. I'm just gonna send it to whatever. I'm already waiting to get like lit up in the comment section. This is just like trial and error. To me, guys, like some of this stuff seems harmless to me because the thing already doesn't work. So yeah, maybe if I knew a little bit more about stuff, I could be more successful, but sometimes the best way to learn is the hard way. Let's freaking go! No freaking way. See, it's running out of gas. It's not getting enough gas, I'm telling you. Alright, I think that's enough for today. The neighbors are gonna hate me if I keep making this much noise. This is my final theory. I'm thinking the carburetors are just super clogged. I'm thinking if I pull them out, get them cleaned up real good if they're gummed up. Some of you guys probably think they need to be completely redone, but I'm thinking new gas hoses, get that gas tank properly hooked up, clean up the carburetors, and I think she'll fire. I don't think every turn she'll fire, but I definitely think thing will run. I definitely do want to get this engine in the water, fired up, and take it for a rip at least one time. Even if we think we got to replace this thing, I think it would be cool to get out there and just rip her around, see how she works. And also, let me know what you guys think you want to see next. Should I start working on the interior? Should we get some C-deck? I don't know. What are we thinking? I think we might be getting C-deck. Other than that, all right. I think we're going to call it a day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.